He went to my backyard. I go to his backyard. Fucking Denver. I don't care where we go. I'm bringing this title back home to my city, baby. I'll defend it there. Respect. I'll go to your city. I ain't scared. I never scared. You already know how I roll. Hey, man, y'all got one to number 3. Y'all want the 3? Let's do it. I'll go to your hometown.
Brandon Rios and Mike Alvarado.
My bad. You know, doing something a little different here. Basically what I'm doing is trying out something different. You know, T Street is taking over Saturday nights, and what I'm going to do is before each and every major fight, I'm going to do a Google Hangout live streaming video. So what does that mean? It's going to be final predictions. We're going to have some friends on. We're going to have some callers. And as time goes on, the show is going to slowly start to progress. So as it stands right now, let me just get to you from the beginning. I'll say, listen, I'm T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy Live with RealCombatMedia.com, January 24th, 2015, 7:30 p.m. exactly Eastern Standard Time. You know, I've noticed that being a boxing reporter or whatever it is I am, being the boxing media, you have to be very, very, very cautious of the content that you put out, but also you have to be very aware of how you're viewed amongst your peers. So what I'm going to do is to start this off, of course, we got to start off with basically what the fight is tonight, and that's Mike Alvarado versus Brandon Bam Bam Rios 3. So we got to talk about the fact that both of these fighters are in need of a win. Mike Alvarado has won has only won one of his last 3, whereas Brandon Rios was very well on his way to 3 losses if Diego Chavez wasn't disqualified for DDTing him. So looking at who needs to win more, I'm going to say personally, in my opinion, Mike Alvarado needs to win more. Why? Because in his 3 defeats, his only 3 defeats, he's been stopped or he's been beaten very badly. And when it comes to what Juan Manuel Marquez did to him in the last fight, and then taking on Ruslan Provodnikov in the fight before, you have to ask yourself, okay, how many more whoopings can he take? Hello, Hoop Jab. Welcome. This is T Street Controversy, T Street Controversy Live. You know what? Just like Al Heyman, just like PBC and NBC, I am taking over YouTube on Saturday nights. So before I was waiting till after the fights went off and everything, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning on my time. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do these videos before the fight. So therefore, you know, there's a lot of pressure, and I understand what's going on in the boxing community and everything like that. But no matter what, wrong, right, win or loss, T Street Controversy will always be here. I'm not running or hiding from anyone. So let's see how the ratings do for this show, and most likely from now on, I will be doing Google Hangout before the fights. So therefore, if you're a boxing fan and you're watching these fights, that means that if there's a fight over in the UK, for example, that means that if there's a fight going on just like tonight, Brandon Rios, that means I will be right here. T Street Controversy Live. Let's start like this. Brandon Rios is in a situation where he said that he may retire, or he hinted at retirement if he loses to Mike Alvarado. You ask yourself, well, what's the MO that Brandon Rios has? The MO that Brandon Rios has, for one, is that, you know, let's just be honest, he'll fight anybody. Number 2, he will take a copious amount of punches to the face. And number 3, well, you know, some people say that he's taking a little bit too many punches. That maybe he's a little slow or punch drunk for his whole eternal career. I don't know. But what I'm trying to say is this. Brandon Rios is a very good fighter as far as what he brings to the table. For example, with this fight tonight, we know that there's no belt on the line, but we know that what we're going to see somebody's face get smashed in. We're going to see blood spilled, and we're going to see somebody most likely get beat senseless, and probably, you know, inch closer towards retirement. But I'm trying to think about it like this. Would boxing be better if a guy like Brandon Rios retired? You know, because honestly, when it comes to fighters like him, he will fight anyone, and he will give you good fights despite how one-dimensional he is. Now, we know when it comes to him, he doesn't box. He throws that boxing shit just straight out the window. He's coming out there to fuck you up, and he'll be cool and smile with you later on. You know, and curse with you later on. But when it comes to Mike Alvarado, with the career he's got going on now, when you look at, okay, him and Kareem Mayfield has the last, those two fighters have the last significant, actually clear win over Mauricio Herrera. Even though Kareem Mayfield, if I'm correct, Herrera landed and drew more than Mayfield, but Mayfield landed with the cleaner shots. But basically, Mike Alvarado has the last clean win over Mauricio Herrera. So since then, Mike Alvarado was supposed to be basically a guy who was going to be a long-reigning world champion. Remember that. People forget that. Mike Alvarado had a lot of people rooting for him. To whereas in now, if you look at the fights that he's lost, right, and if you look at how he could have maybe lost that second Brandon Rios fight, you think like, wow, he really needs a win more than Rios. And that's just the way it looks to me. But since what I do here on T Street Controversy, especially me being a boxing reporter, with boxing, you have to pick a side. And right now, the side to pick is obviously, you know, I don't know. There's no side to pick. But if I was to put money on somebody, honestly, my personal opinion, I don't gamble, I would say Mike Alvarado because he needs it more. And plus, looking at the weigh-in yesterday, he looked pretty good. Normally, at the last two weigh-ins, he was looking kind of dry and kind of sickly. But you know, he looked pretty good. And he has beaten Brandon Rios before. That's his last win in his last four. So he has beaten him before, and he knows how to beat him as long as he doesn't get caught up in the slugfest and exchanging with Mike Alvarado. So I know what people want to talk about. They want to talk about Mayweather Pacquiao. You want to talk about Canelo versus Kirkland. You want to talk about, you know, Al Haymon, the Steven Espinoza article and statement to boxing scene. I already know that. But first, if there's a fight, major fight on the night, we got to pay homage to that major fight first. And then in the middle, we'll talk about all this stuff, and then we'll end once again with Brandon Rios versus Mike Alvarado. So who's here right now? Hoop Jab, and who is that? Who is that? Who else is here?
Albert.
You gotta come up with a nickname, bro. You can't be coming on here just with Albert. You gotta come up with an alias. But anyway, you know, let's get what's the predictions for this fight? Let's just get this out of the way first. By the way, please subscribe. If you don't know how to look, if you don't know how to use Google Hangout, once again, listen. This Google Hangout is open because I know there's some people that want to say some things to me when I ask me some questions and all like that. Listen, I'm here right now, primetime Saturday night. I'm gonna leave it at that. But go ahead. Oh, he left. Albert done left. But right now, we're in a situation where you got Gilberto Ramirez versus, you know what, my God, I don't even know who he's fighting. I'm losing it. And I'm supposed to know who he's fighting, and I'm losing it. I don't even know who he's fighting. Let me look that up. But before I go on, I'm going to say this. If you don't know, I talked about it in my weigh-in video. This Brandon Rios versus Mike Alvarado fight, they were fighting for what is called the WBO Intercontinental title, 147 pounds. That belt just came out of nowhere when Brandon Rios fought Manny Pacquiao, and then made Manny Pacquiao the #1 contender for Timothy.
They're borrowing it from WWE.
What you say?
They're borrowing it from WWE.
Yeah, they just like how they just gonna make up a belt. So therefore, the winner of this fight will be the #1 contender for Pacquiao's belt. Now, mind you, this makes this the second straight fight that Mike Alvarado has been in #1 contender status for Manny Pacquiao. Now, remember when Mike Alvarado fought Juan Manuel Marquez, that was also for the WBO Intercontinental. And that was a way of Bob Arum trying to set Juan Manuel Marquez up to fight Pacquiao a 6th time. Like, well, you want another title? Look, you're the #1 contender. What did Marquez do? He vacated that spot and said, no, fuck that, I'm not fighting Pacquiao no more. So now I'm thinking, like, well, wait a minute, they're just going to make up a belt? You're just going to make up a title. Is this what we're doing these days? You're going to make up a title. But listen, when it comes to Gilberto Ramirez, listen, he's like 6'3". He's fighting at light heavyweight, but when you see him in the ring, my God, you would think that he's hold up, let me see if I can get my internet for him. You would think that he's like 250 pounds. You got to see how he looks, how big he looks in the ring. Pause. But on my show, see, one thing I want people to understand is that I do these videos and I do them my way. When I say my way, I mean that it is for you. And I understand, you know, that there is a certain amount of what people call professionalism that has to be displayed. But at the same time, I want you to come here and understand that you're going to get the information here that you can't get on the mainstream boxing sources. Why? It's because they have an allegiance to someone, they're afraid of someone, or certain things they can't say because they want to make sure it doesn't affect someone's connections to this, that, and this, and that, and this, and that. Here on my show, listen, I don't have time for all that. You know, and the fact that I do my shows live and it's only me, you know, I'm the producer, the executive producer, CEO, director, and the star. So I got to say it exactly how I see it. You know, truth be told, I don't care if I don't ever meet Floyd Mayweather a day in my life. It's no disrespect to him, but at the same time, it's like I can't, you know, what I'm trying to do and what I've been through, I can't have you censoring me. I can't talk to you and say, and he say, well, listen, don't say this, but say this. And I'll be looking like, nah, I just can't do it. I just can't do it. So I understand what people want to talk about. You know, Brandon Rios and Mike Alvarado, you know what that is? That's just something to quench our bloodthirst. We just want to see blood. That's what that fight means. We know realistically that most likely whoever wins is not going to fight Pacquiao again. You know, and it's crazy because Saddam Ali just beat Carl Sobrego in the undercard of Hopkins versus Kovalev, and he's supposed to be the #1 contender for Pacquiao's belt. But what's going on? You know, what's going on? And that's what we've been experiencing in boxing. You know, like with you're just gonna make up a belt. You know, and I understand. Let me point this out. No disrespect to the WBO. Well, hell with that. Disrespect to the WBO. The WBC, the IBF, and the WBA have had a numerous significant amount of meetings. Why? Because they've been meeting to make sure that the name of the divisions are the same. For example, a super welterweight and a junior middleweight is the same thing. They make sure it's just, what is it? I believe it's just junior middleweight now. Because, for example, with a WBC, it'd be some shit like super welterweight. But then with the WBA, it'd be like junior middleweight for the same 154-pound belt. So it's stuff like that. Also, they're making sure that the fighters fight their mandatories, and they're also making sure that, well, if you have a WBO World Championship, that you'll be able to fight for the mandatory #1 contender for the WBC. It's stuff like that they've been doing. But then when you got the WBO, who have declined all 3 meetings between the WBA, WBC, and the IBF, it makes you think like, yo, what kind of bullshit are you on? And also looking at the fact that Peter Quillen was basically in negotiations allegedly to fight Andy Lee for a title that he walked away from. I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute. What is wrong with you, WBO? What kind of shit is you on? Hold on, listen, my internet is a little shaky. Long story. But I want to make sure we're all on the same page. Long story. But anyway, let me tell you how to join Google Hangout. This is what you do. You got to have a Gmail account. You have a Gmail account if you have a YouTube account. And therefore, all you got to do is go to your Gmail Google Plus account, and then you'll be able to see, Google Hangouts Live or events, and you'll be able to click in. So let's see if we can get some more people in here. You know, people are usually used to me doing this pretty late. I'm going to do, there we go. Oh, no, wait, can't do that one. But there's something I want to play for you guys. And it's the next subject in the video since I'm only going to be here. Let me see. I'm only going to be here for about another 45 minutes or so. So I'm going to play something for you guys that is very significant. Hang in there because I know what you want to talk about, and we've talked about it. Well, I've talked about it, but now I'm going to talk about what you like. Here we are. Here we are. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Now, this is that, I think you already know what I'm showing here.
This morning, everybody involved, whether it's the head of CBS, Les Moonves, who's been great throughout this, what was Showtime, whether it's Richard Plepler, the head of HBO, wanted that fight like you do, because they're fans. They want that fight to happen. As far as Pacquiao, his side, including myself, we've signed off on every point. We negotiated this for a few weeks, and we agreed to everything. So the lawyers are now exchanging papers. But push comes to shove, there is one guy that's going to kibosh everything, and that's Floyd Mayweather.
Why would he do it? He's set to make a lot of money. I mean, he can make, how much money can Mayweather make on this?
Probably around 150 million.
So why would he put the kibosh on it?
Because it's not about the money. It's about he is obsessed with not losing. And
So it's about his legacy? Is that what you're saying?
well, it's not a legacy. No. Because he knows not fighting Pacquiao taints his legacy. He's not stupid. But he's afraid to lose. Because and I know I promoted him for over 10 years. He doesn't like to fight, doesn't want to fight southpaws. And certainly not fast southpaws who can punch. The worst possible opponent that he could face is Manny Pacquiao. Pacquiao knows that, and Mayweather knows that.
By now, I'm sure you've heard this. On the internet yesterday, somebody who represents Mayweather, Ariza, is blaming you for not being able to pull off this fight. He says there's one person who's keeping this fight from happening. It's you. Here's your rebuttal time.
First of all, Ariza hasn't been part of negotiations. He doesn't know how the negotiations have progressed. He doesn't want to know that Pacquiao and Top Rank have agreed to everything. And as far as we're concerned, it's a done deal. He is reaching out because I think he knows from Mayweather that Mayweather isn't going to do the fight. So now they have to look for a scapegoat. And the scapegoat is the promoter on the other side, Bob Arum. But they'll have to encounter Les Moonves, the head of CBS, Richard Plepler, the head.
Let's just ask it right from the beginning. Let's just ask it. Is Bob Arum a liar? Is Bob Arum a liar? Yes. How about this? Is Stephen?
But like what I've been saying, and I believe the fight's done, and it's just all smoke and mirrors. So Bob's saying what he's always been saying, because what he is saying is what has led everyone to being so interested into the fight, that the notion that Floyd's probably scared of him. So he's just selling it up and making the announcement, which is inevitable, more dramatic. That's what I think.
And you know what? I completely 100% agree. A lot of people can't understand that. At this point in time right now, I cannot see Mayweather fighting someone else. And also, if negotiations for the Manny Pacquiao fight are so difficult, can you imagine how negotiations for the Cotto fight, a rematch, is going to be difficult when Floyd Mayweather has something? I mean, when Cotto has something that Floyd Mayweather wants, another title in another division, which would be the selling point of the fight. It's stuff like that where I think to myself, you know, are HBO and Showtime having these meetings to talk about Cotto and Mayweather? It's stuff like that. So I feel personally that people have been getting caught up in all the different articles and all the different he said, she said crap. And if you look at what's out there right now, they're selling the fight. I put something on my Facebook the other day that when Mayweather goes to a LA Clippers or LA Lakers game and people start booing him and saying fight Pacquiao, Can you imagine the people that are there at that arena that never saw a Pacquiao fight or never saw a Mayweather fight, but now they're interested, like, oh, he must be really big. Oh, he's a boxer? Let me watch, let me see. You know, you think they're not going to buy the fight now? You know how many people that aren't boxing fans are going to buy the fight and most likely fill the seats at the MGM Grand because the regular people are not going to be able to get tickets. You know, I think that should be known right from the beginning. The regular people are not going to be able to get tickets. But see, let's not talk about tickets because people really feel that the fight is not going to happen. And I can understand that. I understand how people can say, well, I'm not going to believe nothing until they step in the ring. I completely understand you, and I completely agree with your view. I understand when people say, well, Stephen Espinoza said that there are no talks and there's no contract or whatever. Blah, 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 blah. Now, Stephen Espinoza, in my personal opinion, Stephen Espinoza is TMT. Stephen Espinoza is an unofficial member of the money team. Stephen Espinoza would not have had that job if it wasn't for Mayweather signing with Showtime. You know, and it's stuff like that I look at. But, you know, do other people look at it like that? I don't think so. You know, so I need people to understand that. Look at the business sense of things. Look at the business sense of things and ask yourself right now, could you walk away from that much money? And also, Al Heyman has a lot of good PR going on right now with all these fights he's putting on NBC and Spike TV. You think that he wants to take a hit because one of his fighter Mayweather, you know? And then I just, none of it makes sense to me. None of it makes sense. None of it makes sense at all, period. And you know, I ask myself, like, if people, I can understand that of all these years, we've been waiting for 5 years. And it's been officially 5 years. People say they want to say 6 years and all that.
No, because the fight was going to take place in March 2010 originally.
Yeah, exactly.
5 years.
So that's 5 years. So when you look at now that so many people are involved outside of the fighters, you got for example, who just joined? You got CBS, you got Showtime, you got HBO, you got NBC, right? Now think about now you got to really think deeply. NBC is thinking to themselves, oh, okay, wait a minute. What channel did the Super Bowl come on now? I know, but I want to hear it be said. What channel does the Super Bowl come on?
Channel 4, we'll see, or NBC.
So, you mean to tell me that Al Heyman, right, with this NBC Sports deal, right, would not love, you think it would not greatly benefit him to have a Mayweather versus Pacquiao announcement on the same day as the Super Bowl for that network? It's just certain stuff that I think about on that level, on the business level, and I think like, okay, all right, Al Heyman is a very, very smart man. Even though me and him, even though me and him have an up and down relationship, I gotta hang my picture. Even though me and him have an up and down relationship, I know that man is smart as fuck. So when it comes to me and Al Heyman, people say, well, you hate on Al Heyman, but then T-Street, is Al Heyman paying you? I'm 50-50 with you. But the fact that I'm thinking to myself, he knows Mayweather has a shelf life. He knows that Mayweather's not going to be around in 5, 10 years. So it's hard for me to actually believe. What up? I ain't gonna say your real name. I won't say your real name. With the chin strap. No, that's not the chin strap. That's the horseshoe. Let me hang this up real quick. Let me see. Forgive me, guys. We gotta pay homage. You always gotta pay homage.
Thank you, Al Heyman.
Exactly. So just say thank you. Here we go. Oh, come on, Al. Al's not hanging. There we go. Hold up. I'm not gonna go on into this. There we go. Yes. It's a little crooked. Hold on, I'm taking a picture of it. So do you think that this man right here, do you think that he's trying to save Mayweather? Now, when it comes to a lot of other fighters, I could say, okay, maybe. Do you really think, honestly, that this man who people says, oh, Forbes only says he's worth $15 million. That man, I wouldn't be surprised if he's got to be a billionaire. So do you think that this man does not know that Floyd Mayweather has a shelf life and that you better get this money now? Who is Floyd Mayweather going to fight to generate $150 million? Let's say on the low end, $100 million. Who would he fight? Who can he fight? Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to figure out what would the weight be though. Floyd wouldn't come in at the ring at no more than 180. Probably not even that. Probably like 170. You can't get that heavy.
160 maybe.
Get like a time machine and go fight Roberto Duran.
There you go.
Well, then he might as well go time machine and fucking get Sugar Ray Leonard to fucking get reverse metamorphosis or whatever it is.
I think Sugar Ray Leonard put a beating on Floyd. That'd be a good fight.
I try to get people to understand. People say, for example, okay, let me say right now, how long has I been in it? How long has this video been? What are you playing? Playing Prince?
The hell is that? He's playing, dog.
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Okay. So, yeah, okay, so I can't imagine, right, that Miguel Cotto, imagine if Floyd Mayweather announces that he's fighting Miguel Cotto a second time. Like, can you imagine how social media will be going off? There would be no rejoice over that fight because, for one, fans feel that Cotto should be fighting Canelo, and then fans feel that Floyd should be fighting Pacquiao. So how? That like that's some. If Floyd fought Cotto, that would be some WWC. No, that would be WCW. That would be 1996 WCW. Miguel Cotto joined the NWO. That would like if he was to do that. If Miguel Cotto has been in these secret negotiations with Floyd Mayweather, and he does that and goes over to Showtime, that would be the equivalent of Diamond Dallas Page joining the NWO, and you would have to be the NWO black and white, and you would have to be a wrestling fan to understand where I'm coming from. But it's just so. I want to say idiotic, but that would be disrespectful. To me, it just none of it makes sense.
I mean, I would like to see him fight Cotto again. My whole thing was, I was hoping that he was going to fight Cotto instead of fighting Maidana a second time. Because that way he'd have all three lineal belts, and then right now we'd be talking about him versus Pacquiao for all three of them belts. But, like, if he's not going to fight Pacquiao now, like, I honestly think he might as well retire because, like,
he should.
Nobody cares anymore.
I don't
How
see
would he fight for the middleweight title, though? Like, you can't justify someone walking in the ring in a catchweight at 155 and then just accept it.
It would happen. That's what it will be at.
I don't. Man, the sanctioning body should not allow something like that to happen. Like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, they would. Look at all the times.
No, they probably will, but they should, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, they shouldn't. I don't think any title should be at for a catchweight, but they've allowed it in the past. So
I'm all for that too. I don't think any more titles should be at catchweights either. I'm all for that because if you look at like years and years ago, like catchweights have become outrageous to the point where Danny Garcia is supposed to be fighting at a catchweight. Now he may say he's not fighting at a catchweight, but me, I really feel
okay,
that.
buddy, you gotta go in your room and play.
What you say?
Donner's kid, I think.
Right. But okay, we got a lot of people in here. Okay, so listen. Honestly, since everybody's here, let me try to turn my TV. Since everybody's here, listen. Like, how many of you feel that Floyd is going to fight Pacquiao, and it's all this bullshit is going on right now with smoke and mirrors?
I think they're gonna fight. To be honest, I think they are. Heyman's gonna want to cash out on Floyd as soon as possible.
And that's a smart way to think about it, especially when you got all this shit going on, with all these fighters he's trying to get airtime to. So Heyman has been, for example, okay, when you look at the NBC, PBC the first press conference, it was invite only.
Yeah, I gotta talk to you about that, TC. That's like some weird stuff going on. Like, cause I was at this Thursday, the second one out here in LA, they had that press conference. And after that, there was a press conference at the Golden Boy building. I was at that one. And I was at that one. Steve Kim was there, some dudes from Fight Hype, dude from Ring TV, Ellie, all like the major like dudes in LA, boxing dudes in LA were there. And all of them were saying like none of them got invited to the Heyman thing. And I've been trying to get in contact with Sam Watson. He always answers his phone and everything. But like ever since like this PBC thing has been announced, I haven't been able to get a hold of him or like either of the twins. So like some fishy's going on with that as far as PBC goes with the media.
And what I was gonna say, yeah, I mean, that's crazy you said that, because what I was gonna say is that Heyman is probably in a situation right now where he's like, you know, like, fuck all y'all. I told y'all I had a big plan, you know, or he didn't tell us, but you know, he wanted us to assume that he had some type of big plan, and maybe right now he's lashing out to the people that was going against him, and like, no, you're not going to be to come to my fights or my press conferences. And it's like, yo, realistically, like, if you doing shit like that, then it's like, talk to us, talk to the media and tell us like what your plans are. Don't be mad at us because you had your fighters fighting bullshit fights, and then now you want to keep us out of your events. You know, shit like that is just like, wait a minute. You know, like, none of it don't make no sense. So when it comes to what Heyman's trying to do with the PBC on NBC, and have his own little boxing spread out on national television and cable networks, you have to ask yourself, well, wait a minute, why would he allow Mayweather to give him that bad PR right now? We know that Heyman controls Mayweather. We know that Heyman controls Amir Khan. You know, so has added Google effects. Oh, you want to start drawing shit, Victor Rodriguez? Like, so I'm thinking to myself, okay, I remember now, I got news last week that Heyman was really waiting on Floyd Mayweather. So when I heard some shit like that, first I was skeptical, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then that's when all that shit started coming out, where people were saying, you know, Floyd had to sign the contract and everything. Now, don't get me wrong. Bob Arum is an old man, and I'm not going to play the race card and say, well, you know, he's the covetous Jew. I'm not going to be dumb. But at the same time, but at the same time, I understand that he has lied to us in the past. I understand that. But then I also look at the fact that, well, he's an old-ass man. Old people be doing fucked up shit.
Hey, T-Street, I'm going to ask you a question. Is it true that during a meeting one time he dropped the M-bomb on Floyd when he got mad at him, or is that just a rumor, from what you know?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I think we all would be
surprised. I heard it before. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I never heard it, but I highly doubt it.
What is this? Is this, man? What is this?
I see it.
What's going on?
I see it.
No, I don't know what's going on anymore.
There you go.
Listen, I don't know. I can't deal with stuff like that right now. But also, I look at this man's got mad. I look at Steven Espinosa, and I try to ask myself. I say, like, is he credible too? I mean, he's on the money team, you know. Steven Espinosa. Okay, I tell you what.
He tweeted out my interview the other night. I was shocked.
Yeah, well, you know, he's very active. But you got to ask yourself, do you see guys like Ken Hirschman? Do you see Peter Nelson on Twitter talking all this shit, you know? Steven Espinosa, I mean, I understand, you know, with the job that he has, he gets a lot of shit, especially with this Heyman thing going on. Remember, because you got these big NBC, PBC fights happening. But they're happening on a network or networks that's not Showtime. I mean, Showtime couldn't even get Berto Josezito Lopez. So understand, now look at this from a business standpoint. People say, well, Les Moonves said on TMZ that it was absolute nonsense, and he didn't give him an ultimatum. Yo, you tripping me out with those masks. But I'm thinking to myself, why would Les Moonves say that shit to just some regular ass dude? You know? Why would he just put that shit out there? And also, look at the Showtime lineup. Why should you pay another month for Showtime, the network? Why should you pay for another month for Showtime? Why?
Because they force you to get it because it's bundled together.
So do you? So yeah, true.
That's the only reason.
They got me in that deal. But if your contract is over with your Fios or your Time Warner or your Sky Sports, and you don't actually have, you know, I paid $85 for this hoodie. I gotta take it off. This is one of like those workout hoodies. And
just for the logo.
Huh?
The logo itself is the only reason that's even that high.
No, but listen, it's like some technology where it keeps your body like temperature in, and it's giving you an asthma attack. Oh wait, so this is why I have features like this. I can actually show y'all shit. So let's play the rest of this.
Of HBO to know that we have done everything within our power to get this thing done, and it is done. So the fact that he's blaming me is some asinine strategy on his part that picked up by certain websites that are really, he is reaching out because I think he knows from Mayweather that Mayweather isn't going to do the fight. So now they have to look for a scapegoat. And the scapegoat is the promoter on the other side, Bob Arum. But they'll have to encounter Les Moonves, the head of CBS, Richard Plepler, the head of HBO, everything within our power to get this thing done. And it is done. So the fact that he's blaming me is some asinine strategy on his part that will be picked up by certain websites that are really beholden to Floyd Mayweather.
What would be worse for Mayweather's legacy? If he didn't have the fight at all, or if he fought Pacquiao and lost?
I think what would be worse if he didn't have the fight at all. Because if somebody sat down and explained it to him, Floyd, the worst thing that can happen if you fight Pacquiao is you lose. But you're a man, you get a good fight, you stand up to him, and you'll end up with $150 million. That ain't bad. Now you can walk away and not fight him, and people, when you're long since retired, your hair is turned gray.
You know, I'm not the type of guy that I wouldn't allow anyone to cost me that amount of money. Yo, seriously, yo, look at this. This is some old crazy technology type shit.
Yo, T.
You.
Just a heads up, speaking of technology, you got a lot of guys that are trying to get on. A lot of guys trying to get on right now.
Oh, yeah. Well, see, put it this way. I just blocked it. I just stopped it. Because see, what's going to happen is if I keep letting everybody in, what's going to happen is we're going to have a whole bunch of people on here and nobody's going to be able to talk. So since I've seen most of you on here, and then this guy right here with the with this, I don't know what's going on with this. But,
Breaking news. Breaking news.
But see, like put it this way. As time goes on, I'm gonna have only certain people on here. But see, what I understand is that when I do this, everything's gonna have to be organized as far as doing Google Hangouts on a Saturday night because I want a set amount of people because I don't want people just coming in and going out, all kind of stuff like that. But for the most part, everybody that's in here right now, you're on a list. You know, so I understand that people want to be coming in here and talking shit and asking all these questions and everything like that. No, I'm not allowing it because then what you're going to have people doing is you're going to have people coming on here doing dumbass shit. You know.
Yeah. Speaking of that, Don just posted that he's in this hangout. He just posted it. Don just posted that he's joining this hangout right now on his page.
All right. So what I'm going to do is I tell you what. I don't see. Here's the thing. I didn't want to talk about it. You know, but it's like this. I really feel that I'm levels above you. So it's like this. Just I'm done with you. Just leave me be. Okay? I just want to talk about my boxing. I just want to go on. I realize that you're going to be retiring soon. And I want you to enjoy your time. That's all I want. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna move on to Mr. Oscar De La Hoya's TV channel. We're gonna move on to how it is not a streaming service, how it is actually a full channel that's gonna be coming to your cable network and is gonna be reaching 20 million homes by the end of 2015. Now, Amir Khan has recently went out in the media and basically said he is no longer a Golden Boy fighter. So what does that mean? That means he's an Al Heyman fighter. So I ask people, I say, how is Manny Pacquiao going to fight him, an Al Heyman fighter, and then not fight Floyd Mayweather? Because it would mean that Floyd is scared, right? How can the fight not get done? Now, look at it like this. You got Amir Khan, who just on Twitter recently, about an hour or so ago, he went on Twitter about an hour or so ago, And then he started talking about basically how Kell Brook could afford Marcus Maidana and just went through this whole list of guys and basically trying to clown him because he's fighting JoJo Dan. But then I ask you, wait a minute. Amir Khan, you got Lamont Peterson, and you got Danny Garcia problems. And then you fight Carlos Molina, Luis Colazo, and then Devin Alexander? What about Sean Porter and all those guys you just mentioned? So people say, well, Manny Pacquiao's in the UK with Amir Khan. They're setting up a fight for the future. No, they were just discussing a potential fight for the future. Now, can it actually happen? You know, honestly, if you got a guy like Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., right, who owes Top Rank one more fight, and you got Al Heyman, who's advising Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., and I'm thinking, how can Al Heyman negotiate with Bob Arum for just Mayweather Pacquiao, but not Chavez Jr. and Fanfare or whoever, and then Amir Khan? Now, all this stuff leads back to Mayweather Pacquiao, and none of it makes sense to me, ladies and gentlemen. None of it makes sense. Everybody has questions, and people want to put the blame on me because Mayweather's getting cold feet, and he's trying to bitch up. But I'm saying it right now that it is out of his hands. I said it months ago, and I'm going to stick right into it right now. On May 2nd, 2015, Floyd Mayweather is going to be fighting Manny Pacquiao. Why? Because he has no choice. And if he does fight somebody else, it's because his fans, and only his fans, supporters, have allowed it to happen. I like Miguel Cotto and everything. I like Miguel Cotto in certain fights. But if he fights Floyd Mayweather in the second fight, he will lose again most likely. And what's the point? And then do people forget that Freddie Roach trains both Miguel Cotto and Manny Pacquiao? So it's so many things, and I think to myself, well, wait a minute. Is Pacquiao going to fight in April, or is he going to fight in June? Mayweather's fight is in May, and both Freddie Roach, Miguel Cotto, they know that Miguel Cotto wants his own camp, and Manny Pacquiao deserves his own camp. So none of this makes sense, man. None of it makes sense.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
But the problem is, this is the problem, is that they're in the same camp. Roach, Cotto, Pacquiao. You know, why would Roach do that? You know, that's basically sabotaging Pacquiao fight. That's stupid.
Or Cotto, either way.
Both, absolutely.
Either way.
You know, that's really stupid. And if I was Roach, I wouldn't even do it.
Yeah, and I think that's why the Cotto and Canelo fight didn't go through. To be honest, Canelo insisted on that May date, and Cotto couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. He had no choice.
Yeah, but still, Cotto, too much diva, man. It's the new generation of boxing. It's like,
diva, but Canelo's showing a lot of diva.
December.
If Canelo is insisting on fighting on May, I think that's the biggest diva mode of all, in my opinion. That's real diva.
I understand he wants his day back and everything, but if you wanted it back so bad, you should have beaten Mayweather. You can't be complaining, oh, I want this date, I want this date. The man already beat you.
Yeah, who is Canelo to say that?
Exactly.
Canelo to say that? Really?
Okay, Cotto looked good.
He's not, if he's
look good.
2016, he could take May. In 2016, he could take May. He could represent for all the Mexicans. Good for him, but he did not take that date, and now he's insisting. So that's the biggest diva move of them all.
Cotto's a champ.
Remember,
Cotto's the champ. Cotto's the champ. So it's his decision, right? I mean, come on.
But remember, the date for May 2nd, 2015 for Canelo Kirkland is not official yet. They know they're fighting, but right now but they don't know if they're fighting yet on that exact.
That's a good fight. I'm glad that fight's happening.
Claudia the shot.
That's
something
It's a fight. It's a fight.
Kirkland fought once in 2012 and only once in 2013 and none in 2014. Yeah, it's a good fight.
He's a bad investor.
It's a fight. It's a fight.
Before the fight even occurs.
It's a good fight, you know. Because
I think he should still be fighting Claudia. I mean, he did Claudia kind of dirty.
Claudia's a good fight. Kirkland probably will get arrested.
he's so old. He's a good fighter, but he's old, you know.
Active though, that's the problem having.
Come on, since 2013 against that Tapia fight. I mean, it's been a while, and let's not forget that was a war. That wasn't even a fight. That was a war. I think
Exactly.
Kirkland
Exactly.
and Tapia both lost a lot that day. Seriously.
Yeah, Tapia hurt him early on, but you know how Kirkland is. But nevertheless, with Canelo versus Kirkland, I don't see that being a bad fight at all. I see that being good for the fans.
I just want to add,
It's
if
gonna be a great
Ann Wolf
fight.
is there, if
That's
Ann Wolf
gonna
is
be
there, it'll be even better. And needs to be there.
And it's going to be in Texas, right? So I mean, Kirkland's from Austin, and you're going to have all these San Antonio for Canelo. I mean, it's going to be a packed house. They're going to sell out the stadium.
I agree.
I look forward to that. If there's no Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather on May 2nd, then he can't compete with that, can he? With Cotto, maybe, but that's going to cut 50-50 because a lot of people don't want to see Cotto Mayweather.
I mean, is the fight really competitive though? Canelo versus Kirkland. I see Canelo just beating up on or outboxing him. I don't see.
It would be Canelo.
Oh,
It's gonna be a body shot fest.
I can't assume that Canelo is just going to do that to Kirkland. It's hard to just assume that. We got to see it.
Just like anything, we need to see it. Sooner, just like anything, we need to see it. We can just assume, but we make an ass out of ourselves every time we assume. So that's a good fight. They're gonna be banging. Cotto, I still think that it's a whole ass move. It is. He should have fought, beat his ass, or not, but he should have fought him, regardless of what it was.
You saying Cotto should have fought him?
Yeah, why not?
It just seemed like a bad move. I mean, you don't know what's going on with Manny Pacquiao and Floyd, and you just don't know. It's not good. You can lose so much money.
It can, but it's like we can't wait until Floyd. Floyd moves when Floyd moves, and that's what it is, man. We can't really divas. Everybody's a diva nowadays.
True.
Diva. True. Oh, I'm gonna fight him because he won't bring money. Okay, and what? Fight him.
It's been divas
nowadays. It's all about no pay-per-views, no money, no nothing. So that's kind of the boxing is dying from inside, within inside.
Toriano Johnson. You guys know this Toriano Johnson guy. He gives me hope, man.
And Mayweather and Pacquiao, I think that's the reason. For 5 years, I'll be searching.
Yeah, I'm ready to move on. It probably might not even be all that great of a fight.
I love Pacquiao to death, but I'm ready for Mayweather and Pacquiao to retire. I want to see Thurman. I know. New stars. I want to see Regal succeed. Rigondeaux. I want him. I want
Rigondeaux to
Santa Cruz. I want
so bad.
Yo, Regal said he'll give him the $3 million. He'll give him the $3 million. So he needs to be careful what he asks for.
Man,
they're poison. Like this Mayweather Pacquiao is poison to the sport. Because you got, for one, I think the one thing that Bob Arum was right about, that he wasn't lying about, is that Mayweather is leading this whole generation of the best not fighting the best. He's the leader of it. And it's bullshit because you got guys like Keith Thurman and Danny Garcia and who else is at one point in time Adrian Broner. They're holding on to these undefeated records, and it's like, yo, the fans don't give a shit about that. You know why Gabriel Rosado can still headline events, win or loss? And when was the last time he had a significant win?
I like Rosado. I like Rosado a lot, though. I like Rosado.
But he will still sell seats, and he will still get main events. Why? It's because he's going to fight regardless.
I got to disagree with you about the thing that fans don't care about the undefeated record. I mean, look what happened to Adrian Broner.
Wrong, but it depends on how you do it. It depends on how you do it. When you're ducking certain competition, you got a generation right now that's doing what Floyd Mayweather basically innovated on. Floyd Mayweather was a genius at fighting the best fights he could fight, but not fighting the best fights that were for the fans. There were always better fights that Floyd could have fought, but he always fought fights that fans would accept. That's a good fight, and we didn't think he was going to win. Shit like that, Now, I'm not going to bring up the Margarito situation because Margarito was a cheater. I can't bring that up. I hate when people bring the Margarito thing up because Margarito was a cheater, and we don't know how long he was cheating.
But even if he didn't cheat, Margarito still has some skill, though. He did. He just cheated to make himself beyond what he's good.
It's hard to talk about it
He should be in jail. That's true.
He really should.
Margarito's biggest skill was the ability to take a lot of shots and keep coming forward.
Yep, exactly.
I mean,
That's it.
that's it.
He gets his eyeballs smashed up. You know, he gets his eye sockets smashed up, and that's all he really brought to the table.
And it was exciting.
So Canelo Kirkland, do people really feel that? I mean, honestly, I look at it like this: Canelo would win, but Canelo could get knocked the fuck out.
It was due. It was due. It was that was due. Canelo
couldn't knock out Molina.
It was due.
Remember when Canelo showed up? What was it? Canelo ringside for the Kirkland versus Carlos Molina fight? I believe he was. Remember, that was around a time when Canelo had that little curse going on, to whereas every time he showed up to somebody's fight.
Oh yeah, that was funny. That was funny.
Canelo was taking good fights at the time, though. He went for the good fights. It just happened. It fell apart too much. He went for good fights.
He was jinxing them, man. It was jinxing. Was jinxing them. Every time he used to go, he was just jinxing them.
He called up Manny Pacquiao's mom. That's what he did.
Oh. He kept growing a herpes every time he did that.
Wait, like this.
But I remember Canelo was at Victor Ortiz's fight when he got knocked out and got his jaw broken, and he was at that Carlos Molina fight. I remember that.
He was at Charles Cotto too.
Pat Cotto, yeah. See, so every time he was supposed to fight somebody, but then again, he wasn't really big when Pacquiao fought Cotto. And people say Cotto's ducking. I keep saying the same shit over and over and over and over again. Cotto is Puerto Rican.
Why would Cotto duck Canelo? This is what I want to know. Why? What reason would Cotto ever want to duck Canelo?
Yeah, I'm thinking like.
Why would he?
Cotto is A side in his mind. Like I said, in his mind, Cotto is A side. Cotto will find a way to tell you.
No, he is A side in New York. Because look.
Oh no, trust me, I know.
Madison Square Garden, Puerto Rican Day, that's A side on Puerto Rican Day. You know,
you take it down south along the border. Yes, Canelo's on A side. Canelo A side in Cali. Canelo A side in Vegas. Canelo A side in Texas. Yeah, you're right. Cotto's on the A side.
He's going to be A side.
Yeah, so he feels that Cotto feels that, hey, I can fight Madison Square Garden, make the same money or more, just fighting on New York.
Exactly. So people saying, like Cotto's ducking Canelo. Honestly, Cotto is just being. People think that is disrespect when Cotto's called a diva, but Cotto's just being a diva. He's not afraid of Canelo. He just wants to fight Canelo on his own terms.
I think Canelo is being B side all the time against all these great fighters. Now it feels like, oh, I got the chance to be A side. He just wants to hold on to it so bad.
I agree. And can I just say something? I don't believe what Aram said when they asked him about the fight and why it fell through, that Canelo called him out on a Spanish show. He had a little smirk on his face. That was a little weird about that. There's something behind it.
But then again, Cotto is sensitive like that, though.
I
don't believe it, but Cotto is sensitive like that, though.
Canelo's been shouting. He's been calling out Cotto for a minute. I doubt that one Spanish show, unless he got slick and he was talking greasy, then maybe I can understand why he'll get sensitive. But I think it's a lot more than that. I don't know.
Honestly, I just think it's because the fact that Cotto didn't like the fact that Canelo was talking all that Cinco de Mayo shit. like Cotto wasn't talking all that. It was only Canelo that first started talking like, yes, I'm fighting Miguel Cotto on Cinco de Mayo. So you got to think, Cotto probably sitting with that Cotto face like, with his fat friend with the chicken neck. He probably sitting there like, yo, he's not A side. And then, you're looking at his fat friend like, yeah, he's not A side.
Yeah, that was a bad move by Canelo, especially with the Puerto Rican Mexican history. Like, he should have just shut his mouth and not said nothing.
No, yeah, but Oscar didn't help.
Conflicts of interest, man. Honestly. Yeah. He wants to take over May 2nd.
And Oscar instigated that.
He can't do that because Mayweather fights around those days. I mean, okay, you're supposed to take over May 2nd, May 5th, whatever. How? How are you going to beat Mayweather's, regardless if you like him or not?
You're not going to do it with You're not going to do it.
He needs to be retired in order for him to take over that. And he wants to beat his pay-per-view records, that's fine. But Mayweather needs to be out. You know,
I look at it like this. Canelo was not fighting on May the 2nd. He may think he's fighting on May the 2nd. He is not fighting on May the 2nd. They know that already. He's not fighting on May the 2nd, man.
What Canelo doesn't understand is that Mexicans do like Floyd Mayweather. Whether he likes to or not, they do like him, and that's it.
like,
No, they support him as far as watching him to see him lose. They don't like him as a person, you know.
Well, probably not. But they like watching him fight.
They will buy his fights. They will pay for his fights. You know, but for him to think he's going to fight James Kirkland in the Alamo Dome on the same day that Mayweather's supposed to fight, oh my God, no. HBO's not dumb. Just like people say that Manny Pacquiao is going to fight Jesse Vargas on pay-per-view. HBO is not dumb. They will tell Manny Pacquiao no. Bob Arum is going to have to pull some major strings to try to get some old fucking Manny Pacquiao versus Jesse Vargas on pay-per-view. Pay-per-view.
That's a miracle.
Yeah, that's the biggest trade pick I've ever seen in my life.
That's not going on no pay-per-view.
No way.
And we already know that, you know, Al, you got to think that Al Heyman knows, like, well, listen, Floyd, we already signed up all the fighters. So who's he going to fight? He's going to fight Timothy Brown the third time. Marquez don't want none more of that work, and Terrence Crawford ain't ready.
He don't want none. I don't care what happened. He don't want none of that. He don't want. Marquez don't want none of that.
Marquez can't go through that shit no more. I say that exact term all the time. Marquez don't want no more of that shit.
Marquez is juicing anyway, man. I think he's juicing, man. I don't care no. That boy's juicing.
I'm not. Yeah, I already know.
Not regardless. I mean, 4 years. You say every time you lose, you're talking about you got robbed. What happened with you know this dog? My dogs are like your dog, man.
I'm a dog boss, yo.
Marquez.
Think about fucking Marquez. Marquez, man.
He can't go through that. It's crazy. No, broken nose.
From the nose, all in the shower. He thinking his nose broken.
He don't want none of that. He don't want none. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he did do some. I mean, Apple. Okay, go play. Sorry. He don't want none. If I'm trying to beat somebody, I don't care who it is, my nemesis, I will do anything. Yes, to beat him. Anything.
The Terminator?
Yeah, that's Marcus right there.
I might watch the new Terminator when it comes out, man. It's probably gonna be terrible.
I don't know, man, but honestly, I know for a fact that Marcus don't want none.
No,
because now after that KO, everybody talking about Pacquiao went to sleep. Yeah, he did. He woke up, and guess what he's doing now?
Beating that ass.
Using speed. Speed kills. That's what he's using. He's not. He's overwhelming punches and all, but he's not going for the knockout. Look what happened to Rios. This man made Rios cry.
Rios was crying.
Yeah, he made Rios cry. I mean,
I saw Rios crying. Yeah, I was like,
oh my God. I was like,
no. And his face.
And what happened to Algieri? He left him in the cage.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let him out. I'm gonna let him out of the cage.
Bang! Of the cage.
It was cold. But now Pacquiao, after he got knocked the fuck out, what happened?
Jermaine
Taylor back to his old ways of using speed, movement.
When are they gonna strip Jermaine Taylor? When is IBF gonna strip this man?
He's using all of that. He's not going for the KO. If it happens, it happens. But what happens to what happened to Margocito? Man,
that's eye socket, bro. That's eye socket.
Speed. I'm telling you.
Marcus knows
he's not gonna bang. Pacquiao and Marcus are not gonna bang no more. Pacquiao's gonna move, and Marcus looked his age when he fought Bradley. That's the Marcus he's supposed to. That's the Marcus that lives now within him, within himself. Marcus fights like that. Especially using Vada.
Get some more candy for the MLK parade.
That was the weirdest thing I was like ever listened to. What was all these?
Oh no, I'm playing it now. I'm definitely because we got to get to the. We didn't talk about Jermaine Taylor.
Oh Lord! Oh
figure out how
Lord!
to get some candy. I'm disappointed in you, Arkansas. They didn't get the kids no candy.
24 hours to turn myself in, they say. You know, we get the shit off my chest. I let all this shit through me. I'm sorry. If I let anybody down, hurt anybody, you know, I make mistakes too.
2014, why you doing twisties, dog?
Yeah, okay. Got to get it together. Have my little girl that nobody had no king. They got to do better with parade. So if you discipline me, I'll discipline you too, because that's Martin Luther King. So get that together too.
Right.
She disciplining me. What else? That's about it. Please do better next year with the Martin Luther King parade, even if I don't be there to watch it. God forbid. But I haven't missed one yet. Thank God. Yeah, but, to my fans, I love you. Sorry. Shit, when I go to jail, I'm gonna sit my ass down. I'm not gonna say I have no problem with no drugs to get out of jail. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna say I'm a drug addict. I worked too hard for my life to put that in. You can kiss my ass. Alright. I love you, Arkansas. Champ, baby. Fuck them. That boy had no business fucking with us. That's okay, you love your bastard. Scratch it, boy.
So does he think that they're not going to use that in court?
Yeah, he just told on himself at the end. He just told himself. That was a
Does he
stupid
think that they're not going to use that in a court of law? Does he think that the district attorney is not going to be like, in your honor, he knew what he was doing? So this is what the story is supposed. Allegedly, of course, he snapped. He was taking a picture with the kids. The kid was holding the belt, right? I don't know why you're letting the kid. Me right now, I wouldn't let a kid hold my championship belt. I don't like kids. You got a kid, I'll fuck a kid up. But I'm sorry. But it's like, why you got a kid? And if you're Jermaine Taylor, if you're drinking and you're getting high on pot, why would you allow a kid to hold your title? So the kid dropped the belt and he say, "Fuck this shit. These kids don't got no candy." And then he points the gun at the father's head in front of the kids. The chick comes, smacks his arm, the gun goes off. So we don't know. So you got to think, the district attorney's going to be like, he was going to kill him right there. Jermaine Taylor was going to kill that dude. So,
I don't know, man.
So to the city, listen. Let's just talk to Arkansas, just in general. To Arkansas police, let's make sure some candy at the MLK parade to avoid these senseless acts of violence. Let's just make sure. I'll fucking ship some. Listen, I'll donate some candy corn. I'll ship candy corn. I'll ship all the cheap shit. I'll ship some fucking goddamn licorice. I'll ship that shit to. Listen, just make sure, because when we got our IBF 160-pound champion in jail because MLK didn't have no candy. Like no. All this would have been eliminated if there was candy there. Honestly, think about it. All this would have been eliminated if there was candy. You got to see the videos that's been circulating around with him on social media. He out there at the parade. He dancing with his cup.
Oh yeah, motherfucker popping mollies and shit.
He out there fucking dancing with his cup. But you know the thing wrong with him? People say it's the brain bleed, but he got that kind of high. Like he be on pills all the time. Like he always on some Xanax. He seems like he always happy all the time. He was never like that. He was never that guy, man.
That sounds like Parkinson's right there. The beginning stages of Parkinson's, man.
Like he's always like
he's drifting and he's fading, man. Honestly,
something.
You don't even know.
Al Heyman for like a publicist for his fighters. Like they used to do some dumb shit. Like where are the publicists at?
Yeah, like you're the champion of the world. I'm thinking like Al Heyman can't get him out of this. Al Heyman allowed him to keep his title. I'm saying Al Heyman allowed him, yes. Al Heyman allowed him to keep his title after he shot his cousin in or around the penis. So in the penis. So when he was in the ring fighting Sam Solomon, there was a man that was shot in or around the penis out there somewhere in the world. Thank you, Al Heyman. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Al.
Thank you, Al Heyman.
Thank you, Al Heyman.
Thank you, Al Heyman. Yeah, we starting to sound like a cult.
I'm saying, you know what?
It's subliminal messaging. Like when I went to I'd be like, "Thank you, Al Heyman," and I'd be like,
just go like that.
I'd be like, "Oh, this
go like this."
Al Heyman.
Thank you, Al Heyman.
Thank you.
Like honestly, like when I heard that Berto versus Jose de Lopez was official, I said, "Thank you, Al Heyman." damn, you're popping with these on Spike TV. Thank you, Al Heyman. Like he likes, like if you look at it, everything involving him revolves around people saying thank you to him. He does things so you can say thank you. And I've also heard, and this is true, I've seen footage that when he greets his fighters, that he hugs. Matter of fact, not just his fighters,
Heyman?
he hugs everybody. Al Heyman hugs everybody.
Have you seen the video of him hugging Keith Thurman on camera?
I've heard that he hugs everybody. When he sees, he just hugs.
Didn't he like don't he like trannies, man? Because I know there was an article.
Go ahead and bring that dude up. The dude that wrote that is a clown, man.
You're like, oh, thank you, Al Heyman, and they're like.
But then again, you would think, right? For somebody that's so powerful, I'm thinking like, why do you avoid media so much? You leave in this day and age. Of course, people are going to think you're doing some freak ass shit. Because it's like, yo, if you don't want to speak to the media or nothing, why are you going through? And with what he does, and in this day and age, for him to be the most powerful man in boxing, and you're going through hell and high water to avoid the media, you know, it makes me think like, yo, like, what do we don't know you, dog. Like, what are you doing? Where's your wife? Where's Bobby Heyman? You know,
do you think Heyman even cares about Jermaine Taylor? Because Heyman doesn't like IBF belt. He does not like the IBF belt.
Whoa, check this out. There's an issue with the gloves. Somebody's talking about there was an issue with the gloves for the Alvarado and
Rios.
The Rios fight.
Rios.
For who? On whose side? Alvarado and Rios.
Who said Alvarado camp making Rob Garcia change gloves again? I didn't even heard that. What's going on?
Camp.
Rob
Isn't
Garcia.
that
I'm looking for it now. I'm looking for it now. Stop ducking, Doc. What?
Good looking out, Chris. I didn't even hear that.
He's in the chat. He's in there right now, ain't he?
Yeah, he's typing. I just, on the side.
If he knows something, he should say it. About it.
I don't think he can join in.
Oh, all right.
I don't think
I don't think there's something certain, probably a limit. I don't know.
Glove controversy. Alvarado can't make it. Rob Garcia change gloves again. Yeah, we're gonna look into that. We're definitely gonna. Christ saves. Okay, all right, Christ saves. I see you.
He's got the glasses on.
Yeah, we're gonna check that out. Robert Garcia.
Damn.
Guy, you need my pump, bro?
Damn.
Look, my pocket, bro, right here. When I got off camera, look, bam.
No, my bad. I didn't know I was unmuted. I kept muting my cough, man. I just got over the flu.
Don't stop.
Yeah, that's what they call it now, the flu.
I'm on. Let me get high on my channel, bro. Let me get high on my channel, yo. I got Coca-Cola. I don't got no Coca-Cola. I got Tahitian treat. It's a
I got a gallon to go.
Yeah.
A gallon of water. Damn.
I know the fight's about to come on about another. Well, I tell you what, I got 22 minutes left. So what are we going to close this out? Well, I know everybody wants to talk about me. Oh, you know what? Let me say this. Floyd Mayweather's going to be in Australia next week. During his Australia trip, I'm going to have an exclusive. Well, I'm going to do an exclusive video and have some exclusive news on his Australian trip. And during an Australian trip, hopefully something that's supposed to be announced will be announced, and I will be here live. And I'm hoping that you keep up to what you're going to say and you retire from YouTube.
Agree.
You gotta connect out there, man.
Who's retiring?
You gotta connect out there.
I'm cool with Anthony Mundine. It's not a joke.
I remember that.
It's not a joke. So it's like this.
But I forgot.
So it's like this. I just look at it as I understand, my presentation style, and people say, "Oh, you're not credible because of this and that," and it's mostly because I'm not like I can't be in people's faces. For example, when I was at the fight, I got the interview with Brian Jennings. I was talking to him, and he had saw the video where I said it's please stand by, major changes coming. So he was talking to me about that video, and I was basically telling him like, yeah, I see these people. I can be in Julian Williams' face. I can be in all these Philadelphia fighters' faces. It's no disrespect to them, but at this point in time, it's like I'm not doing a service to them if I'm coming up to them, putting them all on my channel and everything. When it's like, you're not ready yet. Simple as that. I want to make sure people I talk to, I'm getting meaningful shit. I can't be, you know, like, for example, Eli Sekback is a legend. Despite the shit I may talk about him every now and then, he's a legend. You know, you can't take that away from me. You know, but at the same time, even though I don't agree, still, that's not the person who I want to be. Like, I'll go out there and I'll say, oh, I'm going to get an interview from them for sure. But when it comes to say, I can't, it's just not me. Like, oh, that's such and such. Oh, can you talk to me? Talk to me, please. Tell me something so I can put it on my channel, please. It's not me. It's not, I'm trying to be that person. I'm learning. People forget that my channel on the 28th of this month will be just 5 months old. Like that shit, and people forget that I went to bed last night at 1 a.m. I got up at 5 a.m., did about 2 hours worth of checking my email, shit like that. Went back to sleep, woke up at like 1 p.m., still checking, you know, like there's a lot of work that goes behind this shit. So the fact that I'm doing it all by myself, you know, people want to say, oh, he's not credible, he gets it off of this and that. Like, honestly, realistically, honestly, I'm really starting to care less and less about what you have to think. Why? Because I got so much shit going on, and I got so many connections that I made. I tell you this, there's going to be a time in the next, I would say, 4 weeks where you're going to be in a position where you can't compete with me. And I'll just leave it at that. I think I've proven enough right now or done enough to show that I'm not just talking anymore. So I want to say, first of all, thank you, Al Heyman.
Yo, thank you, Al Heyman.
Amen. Can I go like this?
Thank you, Al.
Doing some shit where he's trying to keep certain people from coming to his fights or covering his fights, then that's going to be a problem. You know, because it's like this. You shouldn't be, you know, trying to censor media. You shouldn't be trying to get, you know, like, oh, well, I don't want these people coming to my fight because they wasn't riding with us. You didn't give us no reason to ride with you, Al Heyman. You was doing dumbass shit. And it's like, it wasn't that you was doing dumb shit. It's just that you wasn't telling us what your plan was. I assumed what your plan was, like, oh, he's just saving his boxers so he could take them over to the NBC deal. But at the same time, I get a cable bill, motherfucker. So which means that I still got to pay for Showtime every month for these bullshit fights. You can't, that's like, you know, I can understand, right? Where if it's like he said, oh, well, you know, the reason why, you know, these fighters are taking these fights is because we got real big things planned. But then when you got, you know, like these issues, when you got Adonis Stevenson versus Fafar and Adonis Stevenson versus Dmitry Gutsahatsky, and then you got Sergey Kovalev and Bernard Hopkins taking on each other, then Sergey Kovalev taking on Jean Pascal, I think like, yo, when you look at the Adonis Stevenson situation, that isolated situation right there, you can say, Al Heyman, what is you doing for me? Don't look at no other fighters, but look at the Adonis Stevenson situation. You know, look at the Peter Quillen situation, how he dropped a belt.
Oh, man. Oh, come on, man. Don't even bring that guy up, man.
And then tried to double dip and get the belt back.
Double dipping.
WBO does not like Heyman, though, man. WBO ain't playing that. They do not like Heyman.
No, but you know what? I'll tell you something about Heyman, though, that I noticed is that I think now after he made his move, he's going to sacrifice the people he don't want around. So let's say I think he can keep Berto. He's going to keep Berto.
He loves Berto. Berto's like a son.
Yeah, he does. He does, because even though he went to surgery and everybody talking about you want to fight Floyd, fight Berto first, fight Berto. So, yeah.
Whoever 78 Sports, he's the first person I ever heard call him the gatekeeper.
Yeah.
Berto's the gatekeeper.
But you know what? Like I said, he is going to just give a lot of boxers. He's like, here, beat his ass, beat his ass, beat his ass. And after that, they're going to say, thank you, Al Heyman. And the other ones, they're going to just flop, man.
I
agree. We won't hear none from them.
With 150 fighters, there have to be some sacrificial lambs. Absolutely.
You got it. And the thing is, that's why I say right now, I can understand, like, these fights that Heyman are giving us, these are fights that he's owed us. But at the same time, look at the fact that, well, this is the grand opening. Of course it's going to be good. How long before you start seeing roaches crawling around on the table?
But why would he do that? Why would he go back there?
How long before, you know, that salad that you ordered during a grand opening, it was all leafy, you know, and it was green to the point where you get that wilted-ass iceberg lettuce. You get your bacon, you get your croutons, And croutons are really stale bread. But if you get your croutons, they're like, you know, got mold on them. How long? You know, before you get like that lemon, you know, that's been sitting out, you know, with no ice under it for like 7-8 hours. You know, like it's the grand opening right now. It all looks good right now. It all looks good right now, but it's about consistency.
I don't trust him, man.
It's about what fight you're going to be giving us a year from now. He's got all the fighters. But it's like right now, people are like, oh, yeah, Al Heyman's doing exactly what we knew he was going to do. But it's like, yo, I'm not falling for this bullshit right now. I am glad he's doing it because don't get it twisted. Do not get it twisted. Boxing on national television, NBC, benefits me. It benefits me and anybody on YouTube greatly.
Heyman screwed us over, though, by not making that a unification fight. Like, as soon as he says not a unification fight, I was like, wow, I saw that coming. Don't give us so much. Don't give us so much. And he's like, nah.
In all honesty, like, I don't know why he even did that. He should have just had Danny Garcia fight somebody else. Because that's bad PR. Why would you start off like that and then have that shit going on? You know, maybe at the last minute we'll find out that Danny Garcia will make that 140. It's not official yet that is actually no titles yet, but and it's 143, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be at 143 pounds.
How does Philly feel about Danny Garcia down there? Like, how do they feel about that dude?
Oh, Danny Garcia, put it this way. You only, like, if you're a boxing fan, you know what's going on with Danny Garcia. You know, but as far as, like, the club scene, hip-hop community, Philadelphia, yeah, Danny Garcia's cool.
Oh, okay.
Like, he's still Danny Garcia. But only boxing really understands only boxing fans really understand the situation. It's like, yo, that Mauricio Herrera thing and that Rod Sulka. And technically, honestly, sometimes I don't think like how much he realizes that his credibility has been hurt as far as being a champion. Because Mauricio Herrera was supposed to have those fights, and then you fight Rod Sulka. Yeah, okay, Cuba.
He went from Matisse to Herrera. And then
the Sulka.
God, it's
and then to the Sulka. You know,
it's like, but how much can we really, blame that on DSG? I mean, that's Heyman work. I mean, he is just a fighter. We gotta say that at least.
In this interview,
but remember, as boxers, they have the say so. Say, you know what? What happens? Okay, if I don't want to fight, guess what I'll do? I'm injured.
True.
I'm injured.
Yeah, but
every time when I don't want to fight, I'm injured.
Canelo.
It is also
every boxer. If they don't want to fight and it's agreed, and I know for a fact that it's not enough money, and I don't want to fight, I injure myself supposedly.
Tyson Fury, David Haye.
It's the oldest trick in the book.
I know, but DSG made $700K fighting Salka. I mean, money's money. Money's money. Don't get me. Yeah, no doubt, man. But that's
he's bananas, bro. The only problem is his reputation went down because of the fight. Now he could have done something like, hey,
remember that contract that T brought out?
Another fight. Oh, he would have pushed that fight to another
contract.
Remember that contract, T, that you brought out that supposedly might have been a Heyman contract? Those words are real strict. If you look at it, the advisor and the manager are supposed to work for you, but in that contract, it's like you work for the advisor. That position that he has there was really strict, and it's either what I say or nothing. I think that contract holds weight. It gives them the money. It gets these fighters paid. But you gotta listen to what Uncle Heyman says. That contract was crazy, man.
Yeah, but you know what?
Papi Heyman is what Papi Heyman says.
It's honestly, honestly, I'm gonna tell you what. Everybody, it started with Mayweather. Is this zero? Oh, I'm zero. I'm the best. I'm A size. 0, 0, 0. Oh, he got 2 losses. Oh, he got 5 losses. He's no good. He don't have a 0. Remember Broner when Guerrero went up to him and he was like, "What's up? Let's do it. Let's do it." He was like, "I got my O. I got my O." He was singing this shit. Remember that video on YouTube? He's talking about, "I got my O." All scary shit. Everybody is doing that. They doing the pussy. I still got my O shit. Fighters fight. And if you're good, hey, you're still gonna have that O.
You know what I think it is, though? I think that also Heyman wants to keep those belts. Remember, Danny Garcia's got the WBC and the WBA Super World. So I think that he wants to keep those belts in-house. So if Danny Garcia loses those belts, you know, he wants him to lose to somebody in his stable. But also, if he doesn't lose them, he wants somebody in his stable to at least be #1 contender for one of those belts.
I don't know, but I know
keep it in the family.
I know for a fact that Josecito Lopez, he's gonna get slaughtered, man. Basically, look what happened. Look what happened. Berto versus Ortiz. Ortiz was beating the hell out of Josecito Lopez.
But that's what it is, man.
What's gonna happen when Berto is gonna get to him, man? I understand Josecito got a lot of heart, but man, heart ain't gonna take you heart is not gonna make you win. You gotta knock him out.
Just like why is like Broner fighting John Molina? I mean, it's stuff like that. It's like, yo, it's like really? It's like we understand. I mean, think about it. John Molina lost his last fight. Come on. It's going to be a good fight, but these are fights that he owed us. He owed us Lamont Peterson, Danny Garcia. He owed us Adrian Broner, John Molina. You know, he owed us Robert Guerrero, Keith Thurman. And now he's giving it to us like we're supposed to be like, oh, yeah, yes, thank you, Al Heyman. No, you supposed to get Ben gave us those fights. But then again, you know what I mean? We got to say thank you because at least we got some fights. Because we got those fights.
It was the fans. It was the man, and it was everybody going to DGS, Danny Garcia, and putting little cherries and shit, cherries on top.
Yeah.
Oh, they fucked them up with that shit.
Honestly,
no, he even had me go out to get some.
Is telling me, hey, thanks, man. I need a tax return. Al Heyman needs to like give me tax return on my pay-per-view fights and shit. But you know what? Before we go, what about Broner? I want to talk about Broner, man. Before we go,
John Molina with his fucking
man, I don't know, but
right now.
John Molina and Matisse went at it, man. He got the chin. He ain't gonna get knocked out. He's not. He's not. Let's just.
John Molina's not. Well, see, bro, here's the thing. Broner for what?
He might lose. He lost the other fight, but that man, you can't. Man, no. I mean, it's like putting. You're talking about Matisse, man. Matisse got his first, what, 3 knockdowns in total? Matisse?
And that was the second
Molina?
after DSG. Yeah.
He had,
No, man. Man, I'm telling you, man. That man is dangerous. And if Molina did that to him, Broner better use his legs. He better use that cardio and legs. Molina can't.
What legs?
Really fat-footed.
When have you ever seen Adrian Broner move gracefully?
Not to mention that he has to cut so much weight. Dude is looking like a middleweight right now. How can he use his legs? No wonder.
You're at A Square Fight Club.
God damn.
If Molina goes to the body, it's gonna be a bad night for Broner.
He's well known out there in he's like he can do a bunch of in Ohio where he from. He's like he go out there and everybody knows him. They love his ass out there. He's big. His dad is huge. You understand me? He's like cold cuts right here, man. So he can't really move that well. When you cutting that much weight, man, I mean right now he's looking about 190.
I don't know about 190. Sure, dude.
I was 180 at tops.
I say 170 is where he's at.
No, dude, I'm right now because this looks. I look fat. I'm 166.
But how tall are you?
This is 166, bro.
He's like 5'5" though, ain't he?
That dude is 190, and I've been 190, fighting with cruiserweights. Hell no.
He's like 5'5", man. He can't be that big.
I'm 5'5".
You are?
I'm 5'5".
Well, damn, I couldn't tell.
Right now I'm always 166. I'm trying to hit 140.
Yeah, 140. If Molina is smart and he goes to the body,
that man, it's about he's like I say 185.
I say 170.
I mean he's talking about he's a rapper. He drinks, he smokes, he eats all kinds of shit. He get all kinds of games, man.
All kinds.
Yeah, he does.
All kinds of games.
All kinds.
Hodge twins. But what's that though? I think Broner's gonna lose. I really think he's gonna lose.
He's gonna lose.
I think he's gonna lose.
And
He's
then
gonna go to the party. He's gonna lose.
And let's not forget, Molina got
I don't
that
want to
overhand.
cuss no more. I don't want to cuss no more because little kids will look. Yeah, right. Guess what? You disrespected JC. You're a rapper, and you're gonna go out there and clown JC. For real? You that stupid? You that stupid that you're about to clown on this man who built an empire in the rap business and has some basketball moves. He's business minded, and you out there disrespecting the man.
I think he did that.
Somebody told him, "Look, dude, you just messed up. There goes all your dreams out there rapping. They're gone."
I don't think Broner is really going to survive in that weight division. I didn't think so the first time he fought Maidana.
140 is nothing but killers out there, man. 140 and 147, they're nothing but killers, man.
Yeah.
That's dangerous. He was doing really good at, what was it, 135? 130, 135?
135, I think.
135. He was doing good. If he stayed out there, but what he was doing, eating Twinkies.
Yeah, but he was a big fish in a small pond.
He was
a big fish in a small pond.
Yeah, man. But I mean, how your body can't take all that cutting, man. I mean, your body gets used to it. It's hard for you to cut. Then that's why you have to use that
Really too much weight. I mean, okay. I would think that if he's showing up,
it's
to
a good
press conference, that he would be in shape, for crying out loud.
He's gonna come in overweight. He's gonna come in overweight. He's gonna come in overweight.
That shows me it's like
he lost his belt on the scale, right? He lost his belt on the scale, T.
That was Vicente Escobedo, I believe it was. His last fight at 135, I believe it was.
Yeah, he lost it. And that's disrespectful, man. That's disrespectful to any boxer, anybody who help box, coach. It's disrespectful because it's a process. Man, out here, I'm gonna show you some clips out here when we did the here in Michigan. We did the Silver Gloves and the Nationals. We hosted it.
This shit is disrespectful.
These little kids go hard on it, man. They go hard to make weight, and we see we out there in the background, and we see like all that time, 7 o'clock in the morning, those on the scale. After that, they eat.
But you know what these guys do? They pay. They don't make weight, and they pay some bullshit fine. That's bullshit, man.
It's just a few pounds. No. You say 145, 145. You say 120, 120. Make it happen. Don't be
those pounds are big pounds. Like
weight done. If you can't do the weight, move up. That's
true.
Adrian Broner, I mean, really, he should be fighting at 154, but can he fight at 154?
No, come on, man.
Exactly.
Shit.
And you know what? And Cotto's pop ain't that great anyway. Cotto's pop is not that great. I mean, he's good. He's good. And it's a good weight for him, 160.
Pound fighter.
And Roach got him the left hook. But what else?
Roach got him to go back to the left hook.
Because he stopped. He stopped.
I think it's an opportunity. I don't think Cotto really got that much better. He just fought an injured guy, and that's how that happened. I think
when you're natural, when you're closer to your natural weight, it's so much better. You feel so energized. You have the power because this is what did he do? What does Cotto do when he fights? He moves a lot around. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, he moves a lot.
That wastes a lot of energy. A lot. And I wish that he could stop that because if he would, I'd say about 3 to 4 rounds, he would have got more stamina. If he stopped that hopping, we tell everybody, stop hopping, stop hopping. All the little kids, stop hopping.
Maybe
that takes a lot of energy. I mean, he got major cardio, but if you take that away from him, man, he can use them legs and knock somebody out, man.
Well, I know if he fights Golovkin, he's going to have to use all that hopping around.
No, forget about it. He's going to have to hop. Yeah, because Cotto can't stay there and trade. He can't stay there.
You gotta stick and move, man.
Yeah, exactly. So part of what's going on with Cotto now is part of moving. I mean, he's just gonna have to deal with it because Cotto, in my opinion, he's an excellent 10-round fighter. 11 and 12, I'll be sitting in the edge of my seat like, oh, what?
11 and 12, start taking big shots. He does.
You know what? I was happy when he was beating the hell out of Margachito. Man, I was like, yes.
Cotto was ready for that fight, man. He was pumped.
I was like,
But since it's the end of the video, I guess it's the perfect time to ask once again, like, why would he fight? Why would Mayweather fight him again? I can understand that it would be at 160 pounds, but remember,
that's the reason. That's it.
Okay, all right. Now, I think this should be the ultimate proof that he's not going to fight him. Mayweather's last fight was at 147 pounds. Now, we know for sure that they've been negotiating for Mayweather versus Pacquiao at 147. So you mean to tell me that all of a sudden they're going to switch up and start negotiating for Mayweather versus Cotto at 160 pounds, and then Mayweather's got to change his routine and get that extra pounds and those extra muscles on?
Hey, he got Alex Ariza.
Yeah, that's true. that is true. But still, it's like, you know, because Mayweather versus Cotto at 154 pounds would be Mayweather giving Cotto a shot at his title, his 154-pound WBC WBA.
So it's going to be 155. 155 is going to be.
Another point would be what?
What about the mandatories? Why? I know Floyd haven't defended no titles whatsoever.
No,
those rules don't apply to Floyd.
Pacquiao, one time, who else is mandatory? Khan?
Khan at 147. Okay, here's his mandatories. WBA, I forgot who his WBA 147 mandatory was. But I know WBC is
it's Keith Thurman.
It's Keith Thurman. Khan at 147, and then at 154 is Eric Lar and Anthony Mundine.
When is Lauder gonna fight again, man?
Lar for Ishaq Smith. Lar's got to fight. I don't know who wants to fight Lar. It's all up to who I can get him in there with.
He's like Rigo, but in the upper class though.
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much. Because you know, there's a good chance that if you fight Lar, you're gonna get frustrated and then lose. You know, so it's all got to be about who wants to fight Lar, basically. Now, I would love to see him versus Demetrius Andre, which can happen, but will it happen? You know, will it happen? I would love it. It would probably be a boring ass fight on paper, you know. I mean, but I would love to watch it. I love to watch that pure sweet science because that's exactly what it's going to be. It's going to be
talking.
Science.
I was talking to
in the picture.
That's me and at the tournament.
At Bundridge.
Me and him we were talking about.
He's a big dude, dog.
Yeah, he's huge. We were chatting up, and the kids from H-Town, the brothers, Charlene.
You're saying it right, Charmaine, something like that.
Yeah, the brothers, Charlemagne brothers, they call him out, and we were talking about it. I was like, they don't want none of that, man. You know, he might look slow, but that fight that with what's his name, the other dude,
which Charles, the one or the younger one?
The younger one.
What, the Charlos?
Yeah, we were talking about that. And they don't want none. Honestly, we seen him spar. This man, he for his age, oh my God, this man got some hands, man.
I mean,
this dude was K9 was making this dude look old, like he don't want to fight.
Molina, right?
Yeah, man. He was making him look that bad, and I was like, man, I thought he lost it. I thought he just didn't want to fight. I was like, no, that was the game plan. He was like, we gotta think that was the game plan.
Questions about him because Joel Julio back in the day, a few years ago. Y'all saw that fight, Joel Julio versus K9, right?
Yeah, I remember that fight.
Yeah. Julio pretty much he knocked him out, right? It was a TKO.
I believe it was a stoppage. I don't remember. I'm looking at him now. I believe it was a stoppage.
Yeah, it was a stop. For sure, it was a stoppage. So
how did TKO?
I don't know how far Bunches is gonna go, but he's definitely solid though.
He's solid, man. He's solid, but his age, honestly, he needs to start looking for where the dough is. It's about that time for him to retire, man. Don't you think?
Wait, who you talking about?
P9.
I mean, he's got a belt. You know, he need to.
That's the thing, though. But I mean, but this is the thing, though. He needs to start looking with the big fights. Canelo. He gotta start looking big fights, not just like unknown. Who knows?
People don't want to fight him. He don't bring in no.
Y'all know him, but who else?
Yeah, people don't really want to fight him, but he don't really bring in too much money.
Exactly. But that's the thing. It's like it's a double-edged sword, man. I mean, he got the belt and people want it. They need to pay for it, man.
All right, so final prediction: Rios or Alvarado? It comes on in exactly 40 minutes.
Alvarado.
Yeah, I'm going for Alvarado.
I'm going for a damn tie, and it's gonna be a.
I can't call it, man.
Well, we know people will get their big smashed in.
What's up with Alvarado getting arrested, man? What's he messing around with? I don't know if his head's right.
He's a hood boy.
Edge the Rios, because I don't know where Alvarado's head's at.
Well, he got the weed case, and then he got a gun charge.
But that wasn't his gun, was it?
No, it's still no. Yeah, it's just like they call it.
You know, you're a big time fighter. You know what you should be doing before a fight, and you know that's probably not it.
So it's like he riding around in the middle of the night. The cops pull him over, and the cops looking through his back window with that big ass light. They see him putting something into the glove compartment.
Yeah.
You know, then they check the glove compartment. They find a gun in there.
He had expired tags. I mean, come on.
Yeah, exactly. Dumb shit. You riding dirty and your tags ain't right.
Well,
dumbass
is that his car?
And you got money. I'm saying that like he's not broke. Come on.
Yeah, he's not gonna be. So
as we know, we don't know, but
maybe it's broke. We don't know.
He should be broke, man. Boxers ain't good with their money.
Yeah, they're not.
It's hard.
But
I don't know.
So that's what I'm saying. I don't know where his mind's at right now.
He got
good at the weigh-in. That's the best he looked in the last few fights. You know, he looked good at the weigh-in.
He needs to either change trainers. If he loses, he needs to train. He needs to train and
well, if he lose, well, I mean, win or lose,
good. But I mean, he needs to just move out of there, man. He needs to find somebody else.
Win or
sometimes
lose,
it's okay,
I
man.
think he's doing some time. Honestly, I'm just saying, a man with a former, history himself. Win or lose, I think Mike Alvarado's doing some time.
What does Rios have to bring is what I want to know. What can Rios do to beat Alvarado, really? What can he really do? He's a one-dimensional fighter. A big one-dimensional fighter.
And all Alvarado got to do is box. Alvarado's the better boxer. He's the better fighter. And all he's got to do is just box. I mean, look. The guy put Marquez down for crying out loud. Even though Marquez did the whole little, like Terminator thing, when he got all bionic, he put him down. But also, final predictions on this. Like, do you believe that Mayweather versus Pacquiao is happening?
Yes.
That's the question.
You need to take a vote, like a vote tally chart for these type of things, I think.
I'm going to do a poll.
Anything can happen. I say we find out February 1.
His legacy, whatever legacy, 49-0, whatever, I don't, was 47.
If his contract hits, he'll be 49-0 if he fights 2 more fights. Fights Cotto with an Amir Khan.
He don't fight Pacquiao. I mean, this is what I tell the gym, and I love Mayweather. That's fine. I love Pacquiao. Hey, but guess what? You're so good, beat the midget. What is so hard?
Yeah. Just beat
everybody's talking about, he's defensive. Okay, cool. He's a defensive master.
He's afraid to lose to the midget, you know what I'm saying?
But actually, he probably wins more. He probably wins more if he loses. He'll be like, man, that dude went with Pacquiao, and then in another fight, and then another fight. Dude, this man is gonna be retiring with so much money. It's not even. He already got money, but still.
Yeah.
Just
too much of a prima donna.
It's too much money. It's too much money to just leave on the table. I don't understand like how he can just say, well, Bob Burnham was in the way and everything. It's too much money on the table to point the blame at anyone. I'm sorry. For $100 million, $120, $150 million, no one's getting in my way. Just listen. I would get into the ring right now with prime Mike Tyson. That's serious.
Yeah.
For $150 million, I would get in there with prime Mike Tyson. My teeth would be knocked out. I would get in there with no mouth guard.
Wow.
Like I would let them negotiate the gloves. $150 million. I'm not saying Floyd should do this, but what I'm saying is, with that much money on the line, it's like what? And I know I can beat him. All I gotta do is fight him. If Floyd knows he can beat him, then fight him. You know?
Yes, that's all I'm saying.
Like,
if you're so good, just fight him. Beat him.
Not buying.
Everybody realize that you're.
No, he's slowing down. Hey, if Maidana can hit him, we know Pacquiao can hit him.
Mayweather Cotto, dude. Mayweather Cotto, dude.
Maidana, man.
Doing 1.5 pay-per-view buys. It's not doing 1.5 million.
Floyd's footwork is getting bad. His footwork is getting worse by fight. Floyd's footwork is looking terrible.
I mean, if you watch the Floyd Mayweather versus Corrales, just go watch that on YouTube. That's a totally different guy, almost. You know.
Yeah,
totally different guy.
He was
fucking
a he would have knocked you the fuck out. He would have knocked Pacquiao the fuck
At
out.
135. At 135. You know, that's what he's.
I think Floyd's the best 135-pounder ever, in my opinion.
Yeah, what? We got a review. There's a long history of boxing, but definitely he's up there.
135 was his best division. It was his best.
Yeah, he's one of the best ever for sure.
I believe it's his best division by far because 147, 154, 147,
Here's the
154.
thing. He never unified. You know, there's some guys out there that did a lot of research on this. He never unified the titles. You know, he's never been undisputed.
True.
Wow. Hey.
Yeah.
Good.
And that's something he should have done.
I heard that one.
Yeah.
For somebody of Mayweather status, that's something he should have done. He should have done a unified or undisputed somewhere. But see, right now, put it this way. As I said before, if he beats Pacquiao and then goes on to fight Kell Brook, he'll be the undisputed and in his career, undisputed 147-pound champion. And then if he really wants to be a tough guy, you know, he can go out there and fight K9. And
he don't want to be a tough guy.
He can fight K9 and Demetrius Andrade, and in just 4 fights. In 4 fights, he can be the undisputed 147 and 154-pound champion.
I think he's gonna fight more than 50. He's gonna keep going. If he got more than 47, 48, 49, 50 with a 0, I think he can keep going.
He's got to fight.
He hasn't got hit yet. His
his
guy
limit.
is still good. He probably I'm
50's his
retire
limit.
probably from CBS. I don't know, man. Probably he's gonna fight with Al Heyman on CBS. I don't know, man. This man's just crazy. I don't know. Too much money.
All right, well, the HBO card starts in about 40 minutes, so we got 4 minutes left.
Man, this is a good hangout, man.
Yeah. You know, I'm actually getting, usually, to be perfectly honest, this is the time when I usually just wake up. I wake up around this time, but then, you know, start watching the cards, and I'm up all night to the point where now I'm going to go lay down for about a half. I'm actually going to lay down and watch the fights. This is the first time in a long time that I can actually watch the fights in bed and then wake up and then get out the bed and do my video. It's going to be a good night. It's going to be a good night. But overall, see, what I'm going to do with this is as time goes on, I'm going to have, as time goes on, I'm going to have people on here, you know. I'm going to have a little phone, you know, people calling and everything like that. You know, not to compete with the boxing voice or nothing like that. I want to be my own thing. But at the same time, you know, I want to make sure that when I do these, I want to make sure that they're meaningful. You know, so for a fight like this, you know, we already pretty much know what's going to happen. Somebody's going to get beat the fuck up. It's simple.
I think it's going to be a tie, man. I'm telling you.
I mean, it could be. You know, this is not
I just it's so hard for me to say Rios or him. It's so hard.
But watch this.
Unless he boxes, unless Alvarado boxes.
Yeah.
If he boxes, he's gonna take him to school.
But watch this Gilberto Ramirez fight, yo, you gotta see, yo, dude is big as fuck, pause. He's like 6'3". He looks like he's about 200 pounds, literally. Like dude is humongous. But I'm T-Street Controversy. This is T-Street Controversy Live. I'm gonna go walk the dog, get ready for some fights. Who knows? You know, depending on my mood, I may be doing one after the fight. I once did an 8-hour Google Hangout, and I was
there, man.
So you never know.
I was there. I was like, this dude. I'm like at 12.
What fight was that? What fight was that?
Still up. I'm like,
Mayweather Maidana too. I had My laptop had burnt out. I remember I was pissed off.
remember he was.
Yeah, I remember that.
I still got this right here on the floor. I'm looking right at it.
You need to send it to me, man. My company's called Harbor Technology. You need to send it to me, man. I'll do it for free.
I'm not giving you my laptop. It's my secrets, my porn, everything.
I mean,
Man,
transfer everything, delete it, and then send it.
No, I don't know. I don't know what's on there though. I don't know what's on there though. I know that I can still get my my hard drive out of there, but I haven't done it yet. You know, so I know.
Get a Phillips screwdriver. Do that in 30 seconds.
My Twitter, my Instagram, my shit. I'll follow you, man.
Yeah, well, definitely. All right, man. You have a good night, man. I'm gonna be on Facebook posting fight footage and shit like that.
This is great. Before you go, man, keep doing it like this, cause it's better. The earlier, the better.
Yeah, I fucking agree, man. Seriously, man. You be wilding out 3, 4 in the morning, man. Remember, we're in the East Coast, man.
I know. See,
Michigan,
it's now that I realize that see, like I said, normally I'm like just getting out of bed at this time. You know, like I would take like an hour or so nap and then get up all groggy. Then I'd be up like the rest of the night. I can't be doing that all night shit no more, man. I'm getting old. I'm 31 years old.
I'm 33, man.
Like that, I be so tired, man. Like I'm tired now. At the same time, I know I'm gonna get that second win once I get off here, and I realize it's only 9 something. It's not no fucking 4 or 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning.
Well, 6 or 7 a.m. in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm out.
All right, guys.